It's a real honor and pleasure to be here today. And first, I want to thank every one of you for taking the time out of the day for self-care, for yourselves. And this session over the next 50 minutes, 45 minutes, is going to take us on a journey and give us 12 practical tools to help us cope with the stress and anxiety for ourselves, for our loved ones, or community members. And we know all Momentum women are inspirational leaders that impact other people. And yes, we're going through unprecedented times now, maybe the worst crisis since the Great Deep Depression, with food insecurity now in the United States. But at the same time, we also celebrated, and I want to congratulate Lori Platnick for maybe the highest honor in the state of Israel. The only thing left is to make sure she becomes president one day to represent us around the world. And I also want to say hello to the CEO of Momentum, Ben Perry, who's an old Army friend who was 1 year under me in the Special Forces of the Air Force. And we may have been trained to protect the borders from without, but I always say we need to protect the borders within. The borders within is within our souls, within our family, within our community. And that's what Israel does. We focus on exporting our know-how to the world. So I applaud all the lay leaders of Momentum that had the vision of connecting and building community. And that's the only way we will grow and succeed against any challenge we'll ever have. I also want to acknowledge our Director of Outreach, Rachel Wallace, and Judy and Allison, and all the team members of Momentum that put this great session together and said this is something that we want to make sure the women and mothers of Momentum experience and have this knowledge. So we're going to go through the 12 ways to deal with stress and anxiety. It was co-created by Israel Protection Mental Health Experts based in Israel with the Paul Mirage Talks Institute and Dr. Deborah Kalmanova. A small disclaimer, we're going to give you some really good practical tools today, but if in any way, shape, or form you're feeling really high levels of anxiety or stress on your body, please consult with a physician or psychologist or some kind of medical professional. A very small couple words of Israel for those you don't know, and as Adrian said, it's the largest non-profit, non-political, non-governmental humanitarian aid organization. It was formed 20 years ago in Israel. And since its inception, it's gone to 53 countries now around the world. And as we sit here, I'm in New York City, dealing with the stress of COVID. We also have to acknowledge there's many vulnerable populations and women around the world that don't even have access to water or any medical services at all. And Adrian alluded to many of our team leaders on the ground are women, and they chose to stay on the ground in places like Colombia and Mozambique and Guatemala, although the dangers, and continue to work with the community to help them recover, build back, stay safe, and represent Israel and the Jewish people. So I'm going to pass it over to Hagit, and I'm so grateful she's with us today from Palo Alto, and she's an amazing, inspiring person, and you're in for a real treat. So Hagit.
Thank you, Seth. So good morning here in the Bay Area. And you know, it's a very difficult time for us. Most of us are in isolation right now. There's so much unknown right now for all of us, and it's very easy to feel anxiety. And today we'll cover and we'll talk about what is stress. We'll talk about 6 different coping styles and 12 ways to reduce stress and anxiety. So, you know, this is the impact of our lives right now when there's so much stress going on. This is what you can feel right now. There's so many emotional responses. We can feel fear, anxiety. There's economic stress, loss of control, and we're all living with the unknown. We don't know where we're going. We don't know where the world is going. So I hope that this webinar can help you with releasing stress. And I want to encourage you to share your thoughts and emotions through the chat button throughout this webinar. That way we can all feel together in this. We can all feel that we share the same responses to what's going on right now.
And I'll just add to that, Hagit, this is on Facebook Live. We do recommend you have a pen and paper with you throughout the session. If you feel comfortable sharing, please do. And if not, feel comfortable to write in a pen and paper for yourself. That's also okay.
Exactly. So I want to show you right now and share with you two videos that went viral. You might have seen them. And those are two videos that show us different ways that people can react to stress. So let's see the first one.
תקשיבו, זה לא עסק, הלמידה מרחוק הזה. באמת, זה פשוט לא, זה בלתי אפשרי. זה לא נורמלי. מהבוקר, אנחנו רק ביום השני, מיליוני הודעות בוואטסאפ, יש לי 4 ילדים שיהיו בריאים, תדמיינו כמה וואטסאפים, כמה מורות לכל ילד, כמה מקצועות לכל ילד, יש לי רק 2 מחשבים בבית, הם רבים מהבוקר על המחשבים, אחד המורים של הבת שלי חי בסרט שהיא ב8 בבוקר תשב לראות אותו על המסך, היא ב8 בבוקר רק הופכת צד במיטה. מה נראה לכם? המורה למוזיקה של הבן הקטן שלי, היא שלחה תווים הבוקר. מה אני אעשה עם המידע הזה? מה, יש לי הרכב של איזו להקה? אני לא יודעת לקרוא תווים. שנייה, אני מוציאה קלרינט ויושבת עם הבן שלי לעזור לו עם התווים. די, חבר'ה, מורים, תנמיכו ציפיות, זה לא הגיוני. וכל היום, איך הילד מרגיש? איך שיצייר ציור? איך הילד מרגיש? הוא כל היום בפלאפון, טוב לו. ישנים טוב, אוכלים, לא מפסיקים לאכול. איך הוא מרגיש? תשאלו אותי איך אני מרגישה. קורסת. אני עוברת מילד לילד, הנה מדעים, הנה מתמטיקה, הנה, חלס, גם איפה אני יודעת את כל הדברים האלה? עכשיו הילדים שלנו יעלו עלינו כמה אנחנו סתומים. זה לא לעניין, באמת. אני יודעת להפוך שבר מדומה. גם אם הוא מדומה, אני רוצה להבין משהו. למה צריך להתעסק איתו? הוא לא אמיתי, עזבו אותו בשקט. מה אני אומרת פה? גמרתם עלינו, זה רק היום השני. אם לא נמות מהקורונה, נמות מלמידה מרחוק. זהו, פרקתי. בבקשה, להוריד קצב, תניחו להם. שיהיה יום מהמם.
So we see here a woman, an Israeli woman. She's very expressive, like many Israelis, and she has 4 kids, and she's losing her mind. She's really, really stressed, and you could see her stress, you know, in this video. And let's see now a very, very different reaction to stress.
And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still and listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows, and the people began to think differently. And the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed, and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses, and made new choices, and dreamed new images, and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully, as they had been healed. A poem by Kitty O'Meara.
So notice the different energies that both videos had, and they are actually 2 extremes, and probably most of us are somewhere in the middle, right? So just notice where you are between those videos. And I want to move right now and talk to you about stress. What's stress? So stress is actually a normal part of life. We all feel stress at times. So it's normal, and so our response to it is normal. Our response to it is that when we are stressed, our heart beats faster, blood pressure increases, There's increase in stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. The thing is that stress response is only meant to happen for brief periods of times. It's not meant to happen for a long period of time. And when it's for a long period of time, our heart beats faster and blood pressure increases for a long period of time. And that can actually, that we can pay for it in our immune system. So, so when it's for a long period of time, we start to be unhealthy. So for a long period of time, there's little relief from surge of chemicals and decrease in the immune system's abilities. So, you know, as we have different personalities, we also have different coping styles to stress. And I want to talk to you about 6 coping styles that we have for stress. So the first one is belief. Belief is about making sense of the crisis. It's for people who need to make meaning of it. Understand, you know, understand what it is about. That gives them comfort, that helps them cope with stress. The next one is about affect. Affect is people who feel things. They need to feel it. They need to feel their emotions and process their emotions. And that's their way of coping. And then there's social coping style. Social coping style is for the people that need other people, need family and friends talk about our stress in order to work with it. The next coping style is imagination, which means for people who need to dance, sing, or draw. It enables dialogue between body and thoughts and emotions, and that's how people process and cope with stress. And another coping style is a cognitive coping style, collecting information and understanding what's going on through collecting information. So just really listening to the news and listening to people telling what's going on, that can be very soothing for them. And the last coping style is physiological. People who need to work with their bodies in order to process stress, to cope with stress. So exercise and moving the body, that helps them cope. So I want to invite you right now to take your pen and paper and write what's your main coping style. I mean, we all have a few, but notice what's your main coping style, maybe in the last week, or maybe today. What suits you today?
If you feel comfortable, you could write on the chat or write on a piece of paper. So Lisha shares last night she was listening, relaxing to music and painted. Bev says cognitive and social. Rhonda says prayer.
Wonderful.
Denise says go for a walk outside, listen to music, yoga. Michelle says physiological belief. Holly, Jeremy, Nancy, and Daisy say, yesterday I went into my bedroom, closed the door, and sang songs and felt calm. Lisa Maratin says, walk and listen to podcasts. Renee says, belief, music, deep breathing. Judy says, a bit of all dependent on the circumstance. Yelena says, exercise.
Perfect.
Rebecca says baking outdoor activity. Mary says social, planning family Zoom calls, having fun themed dinners with my immediate family, making challah with my daughter. Adrian says Netflix. Justin says yoga, exercise, TV, hug dog, talk to friend. Laura says reading, understanding, belief. Michelle says all of the above.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. That's so helpful to know that. So we have 12 ways to deal with stress and anxiety, and that we came up with. And I'll read you all of them, and then we'll go one by one and explore each one of them. So it's being in the present moment, our breath, exercise, relaxation, information, noticing our behaviors and connecting to thoughts and feelings, becoming aware of our thoughts, expressing feelings and emotions, parents take care, making rituals for every day, social contact, and imagination and creativity. So we'll start with the first one, and it's about being in the present moment. So right now, you know, our mind, when we're stressed, goes either to the future or to the past. And actually being in the present moment really helps us deal with anxiety. And right now, when we're in social distancing, we can explore that more and more. One way to be in the present moment is start practicing meditation. And, you know, people think about meditation as something that, you know, I have to meditate half an hour a day. But we can start actually with a very short meditation. And we'll do right now a 3 minutes short meditation to show you how 3 minutes can really help. So I want to invite you to sit comfortably right now. And close your eyes. And look inside and notice for a minute. Notice your thoughts. Notice the feelings that are here. Any sensations in the body. We're not trying to change anything. Just being open to what's here and what's right now here in the present moment. And now move your attention to the breath. Notice sensations of the breath in the nose, notice your belly. Breathe in and out. And if the mind wanders, just bring it back. Move your attention now to the body. Notice your posture. Your hands and legs. Your face expression. Notice it just as it is. You can always go back to the body as an anchor. Now take just a minute to relax in your body by yourself. And slowly, slowly open your eyes and come back to the room. And see if you want to share something that came up for you. Justin says, thank you for that. Adrian says, so relaxing. I loved it. Great. So happy. So, Laura says, feeling calmer. It was soothing. And Yelena says, it's not easy for me to meditate. Yes, I want to encourage you to notice that sometimes it's hard to meditate. And, it's like a muscle that we want to start moving. So it takes time sometimes to get used to meditation.
We also have regards from London, the feeling calmer. Adrian says, your voice is so hypnotic. And Amy says, what we can all resonate with, it's really hard to bring our mind to concentrate.
Totally. And sometimes it's just about relaxation and not concentration. So, and Michelle says practice. Yes, it does. It does. So don't be discouraged if it was hard for you. It's a practice, and you can do 3 minutes a day. You can look at it at YouTube, or you can find an app that works for you, and you can work it doesn't have to be a big deal. So we'll move right now. Someone says right here, Renee, there's a great app called Calm. I agree, Calm is a great app. So you can use it. Thank you. So we'll move right now to something that is related to meditation, and it's the breath. So, the breath really helps us combat anxiety. There's so many research talking about the breath. And the thing is, we always have our breath, right? We take our breath wherever we are. So we want to know to be mindful of our breath. But I'll teach you right now a full yogic breath, a breath that can really help you relax and calm, and it's very easy to do. So, just put one hand on your stomach and the other hand on your chest. And I want to invite you to close your eyes, or if you don't want to close your eyes, keep it open, but just look at one place. And inhale from the stomach first, to the lungs, and to the chest. And exhale, first from the stomach, lungs, and chest. And inhale again, from the stomach, to the lungs, and chest. And exhale again, from the stomach, lungs, chest. And do a few of them by yourself right now to exercise. Just inhale deeply. And when you're ready, come back to the room. Great, great. So right now we'll go to exercise, and the third way to work with stress is exercise. The exercise reduces the level of the body's stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. And it's just so important to exercise. It stimulates the production of endorphins, chemicals in the brain that are the body's natural painkillers and mood elevators. So, you know, I just want to encourage you, if you're not exercising right now, I want to encourage you to exercise. Edwin asking, is walking enough? Yes, if you're walking fast, that's enough. It's a lot, it's great. You can also, there's a lot of Pilates right now, a lot of, you know, yoga, Pilates through the internet that you can use. So there's so many ways to exercise right now, even if you're in social distancing, quarantine. Holly says, our family does Taekwondo. Great, Holly. You know, there's so really, it's great if you're exercising. If not, I really want to encourage you to start exercising right now. So I'll go to the fourth way to work with stress, and it's relaxation. So we talked about meditation, we talked about breathing, but we can actually find other ways of relaxation also, other ways to calm yourself. Maybe going to nature, listening to music, doing art. So there's other ways to relax yourself, and it's so important to relax yourself. And I wanted to mention that relaxing is not collapsing. Some people who are not used to relax are afraid of relaxation. So actually relaxing just, you know, frees you to feel yourself and to be in a better mood. So the fifth way to work with stress is information, and we talked about it with coping styles. Information is about getting accurate information and behave accordingly. And I want to say that right now we're flooded with information. I don't know if you're, you know, if you're in, you know, you feel that so much like I do, but there's so much information, and it's sometimes overwhelming. So I want to encourage you to find the right information, the information that gives you relief, the information that you can trust, and limit the amount of time spent collecting information that is actually not very good for you. So, you know, notice that. So I'll move to the sixth way to work with stress, and that's noticing our behaviors. So, you know, we all have behaviors, and sometimes our behaviors are not really helpful for us. They're not serving us right now. So, you know, and we want to notice it because we want to notice our behaviors so we can change them right now. So, for example, if you're sleeping all day, that you want to notice it in order to change it. So I want to invite you to take your pen and pencil right now and write the behaviors that don't serve you right now. Behaviors you can change. It can be eating too much sugar, drinking too much coffee, whatever doesn't serve you so much.
Taking all my answers, Hagit. Feel free to use the chat if you feel comfortable.
Sure. So Justin says eating and drinking. And says I use a white noise machine at night. Rachel says not getting enough sleep. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah.
Lack of exercise, says Judy. Yelena says definitely eating, being impatient. Denise says too much sugar, not enough sleep. Judy says stress eating. Lisa says crazy thoughts. What if? When will this end? What does the future look like? And so on. Laura says too many Zoom meetings, getting to sleep late, getting up early, speaking too often, lack of sunshine while I'm stuck in England, Warren says, although I think that's normal in England. Justin says too much news. Renee says definitely lack of sleep. Amy says broken foot puts a lot of limitation to walk and exercise. Wish you a speedy recovery. Elizabeth says, setting my expectations too high for what success looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big one. So, if you can write right now, maybe the behaviors that do work for you, the behaviors that are healthy and makes you, work for you and help you throughout the day right now. Getting outside. Yes, Rachel, this is a big one too for me. Judy says breathing. Always breathing is great. Getting out to walk when weather permits and my hip not hurting. Yes. Judy, taking the time to make healthy food. Yes. Walking a lot, observing changes in nature. Getting dressed for work every day, getting outside, meditation and exercise. Great, Denise. So yeah, we'll move on to the next. Thank you for sharing, all of you. Having schedule for my family, having more time to pray, taking a day off from work. Great, great. They're all very helpful. So I want to move to the next way, to work with our stress. And that's being aware of our thoughts. So we talked about our behaviors, and now the next level is actually being aware of our thoughts. We all have thoughts, and many times we're not aware of our thoughts, but many times our thoughts bring us a lot of stress. And we want to work with our thoughts in order to, just notice them and notice how they influence us. So I want you to invite you to write what thoughts are causing you to be stressed. It can be, thoughts of loved ones or right now that are alone and social distancing. I mean, there's so many thoughts that can cause us stress right now. So take a minute to write them down.
So Judy says, loved ones getting sick. Lisa says, fear of the unknown. When will be normal things again? Financial uncertainty in a strange new world.
Yes, yes.
The news, preparing for surgery in COVID times. Uncle in nursing home, not knowing the situation will end, feeling too stressed to accomplish tasks. Thoughts about the seemingly endless limbo, like status of my life, dealing with the fact that he's will be lasting a long time, worried about my job, kids' education.
Yes, thank you. There's so many, stressful thoughts right now, and we want to choose our reaction. So we want to notice our stressful thoughts in order to choose our reaction. And when we can see our thoughts, we can, separate them a bit from our reactions and be more in the here and now. So notice your thoughts. The next one is about expressing feelings. We all have feelings right now that are actually connected to our thoughts, and we want to express them. We don't want to to repress them. So if we need to talk, make sure you can find a person who is prepared to listen to us. And it's very important for us to talk with people about our stressful feelings. But also, if we have people in our lives that flood us too much with their problems, we might want to create boundaries when needed, because sometimes it affects us too much. So, you know, just notice, your feelings right now, when you need to have boundaries and when not. And Laura is asking to please explain what you need, what you mean by boundaries. Boundaries means that sometimes we listen too much to people that are in pain, and to listen to you know, to somewhat to people we love. Of course, we want that, but sometimes it drags us too much. So we can limit, you know, we can limit our listening to 10 minutes instead of half an hour. And that, you know, that's about taking care of ourselves and drawing boundaries. So I'll go to the next one, and it's about parents take care. For all of us who have children at home, we tend to take care of them before ourselves, and sometimes it causes us to be really drained, and we want, just like, you know, in the airplane where people are, you know, supposed to breathe the oxygen first before giving it to the children. Here we want to take care of ourselves and make some time for it. So if you're a parent, maybe you want to take, you know, the time to meditate or breathe throughout the day, or maybe you want to take a bathtub, a bath today, and take care of yourself, soothe yourself a little bit before taking care of your kids. You know, we have to remember to take care of ourselves also. So the next way to work with stress is to create ritual, actually, to create structure. So it's important to create structure because it gives us a sense of normalcy. Right now, when there's so much unknown from the outside, creating structure actually gives us a sense of control in the inside. So if you can, you know, maybe in the morning, wake up and do a 3-minute meditation, and then cook yourself breakfast, and, you know, and start working. If you're not working, take, you know, go outside and breathe a little bit. So to create structure for the day is very, very important. And, you know, you can share with me what you're doing. But here's someone says, Renee says, schedules are so important, especially for children. Totally, for children is so important. But, you know, also for us, because here in quarantine, the days can look the same if we don't have schedules. And the next one is social contact. You know, all of us are social people and we need the contact. So even if you're, you know, in social distancing right now, if you can, you know, go outside and see someone, maybe in the grocery store, and just smile at them, at that person. Or you can, you know, send your friends quotes, or, you know, we take ourselves and everything so seriously right now. So if we can, you know, send something humorous, something light that will bring us a smile today, that can that can be so good right now. And the last one to work with stress is creativity and imagination. So painting, drawing, dancing can help us reduce stress. And I want to invite you right now to take your pen and paper and put your hand on the paper. And if you can draw your hand, just trace it on the paper right now. So take a moment to draw your hand. And then fill the hand that you drew with one of the patterns that is here, or one of your own patterns. take some time right now to do that.
Hagit, while they're doing it, I want to thank you so much for your time today. And I feel relaxed every time I hear you. Thank you. I want to thank Momentum for hosting us and for all the people that took time out of their day today to receive these tools. You don't have to know all the tools, but whatever you take away will help. And share with your community. We do have a site, which is a guided site, just like the session, where you could go on any time and experience this website. You could join other sessions. Unfortunately, we don't have time for questions today. We have to leave. This ends in a minute. But we wish you a lot of health and strength and well-being. And you are the pillar of the family and the community. And your mental health state is just as important as a physical state. And your financial stability and any other thing you think of. But mental health, we're now in the Mental Health Awareness Month. It's May. And this is something that's really, really important to think of all the time and to be aware of. I want to thank Rachel, Director of Outreach, and you're welcome to share in the chat how it's made you feel or how you're feeling at the moment. We'll share a few thoughts, I guess, yeah. Jacqueline says it was great. Thanks so much. Stay healthy. Amy says, thank you so much. Renee says, thank you so much, and thank you, Momentum, for the boost. Amen. Thank you, Adrian. Much more present and focused, Judy says. Toda rabba, wishing you all well-being and health.